Boxing's a hard game. It's even harder when you're a loser. This is the story of Birmingham trainer Nobby Nobbs. His fighters lose with unfailing regularity. He may be light on winners, but Nobby Nobbs packs a heavyweight personality.
The first qualification a boxer has to be under his management is knowing how to lose.
You see him now, just give him a left hook, see if it's working. They used to call him Rolf Harris. He spent that much time on the canvas, didn't you?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Nobby Nobbs enjoys life as a loser. He takes a 25% cut from each of his 10 boxers' earnings. They would like to be winners, but they're rarely good enough. Together, they're happy to be known as Losers Limited.
He supplies what we call in the trade fodder, and his fodder is usually very good fodder because they don't quit, they don't go on the floor, they look to make a show. There's an old saying in America, they fight just hard enough to lose.
He has a string of boxers who are always fit, who always give their best. They always end up losing, unfortunately, but he takes them around the country and he provides promoters with fights for their bills, and is indispensable.
Nobby's latest challenge is to provide the fodder for the undercard at a televised boxing show in London. He has less than 24 hours to assemble his supporting cast. Men paid to play the part of fall guys, to spill their blood for a few £100 in the arena where, for every winner, there has to be a loser.
We're just opponents. Losing, you can earn more money losing. See, if I'm losing all the time, right, if I go down to London and I fight a kid who's had 15 fights, he's had 15 wins, I'll get down there, I'm an opponent, and I'll lose against him. All right, so I've lost on points. But then I'll come up to the gym and I'm going to go, there's another fight next week, you want it? So in the space of 2 weeks, I can earn more money than that kid's earned in 1 week.
I know my place. I don't pretend to be a flyer or anything like that. I've been at it too long. We supply a service and we give fans entertainment. People pay hard-earned money to watch the fights, and my fighters always give value for money. That's why they get used pretty regularly. Winners out the red corner, losers out the blue corner. And most of mine come out the blue corner, but all my kids box to the capabilities, and usually that's good enough to lose on points.
Nobby provides, in the trade we would call it fodder. I'm cutting right to the bone here, but he provides opponents that will give young candidates and up-and-coming fighters a good workout, and most of the time they're matched against them at a calibre or a stage in their career where they won't actually lose, but they'll give them a hard workout.
He is part of the game, you know. It's like there is no game without somebody like Nobby.
Boxing demands opponents for the sport's rising stars. Nobby's fighters try to go the distance, but because they're overmatched against better boxers, they usually lose.
He knows his fighters, everyone wants them because they'll put up a good performance, but eventually they'll get beat. Every so often he'll pick up a win, which is good for the stable, but he definitely gets his fighters the best sort of money deals out there, and you know, he's entitled to do that because he's the life and soul of boxing. We need people like Nobby.
But even the best laid plans of promoters sometimes go awry.
Don't do yourself down, kid. What happened on a prank Warren show the other week in Manchester when you went as the opponent? What happened? You was naughty. You was naughty. You knocked him out. What happened? What happened?
I was supposed to be in the script. I was supposed to lose on points.
And you was, didn't you?
Yeah, but I went down and you know, just knocked him out in the 3rd round.
I've known him to get 4 or 5 times the value of a boxer's purse because the promoter's got a boxer who sold a lot of tickets, and most of the people that are coming have come to see that particular boxer fight, and they haven't got an opponent. And they get on to Nobby, he'll find one if the price is right. Sometimes he says, I want a lot of notice, I've got to have at least half an hour.
This is me, is that you?
Nobby has rounded up 4 fighters for tomorrow night's bill. Now there's an 11th hour call from the promoter. A boxer has gone sick. Can Nobby find a 5th opponent?
Go on. It's an hard game and you've got to learn. There's only one way you're going to learn it, that's the hard way. And I take kids down to London. OK, they lose, but it's very rare that they get stopped. I don't want to see them get stopped. It's like the football, isn't it? I mean, you got the Premier Division and the First Division, and all the rest are struggling. And it's the same with boxing. You got the top ones, and you got the bottom ones, and they just got to struggle through and hope that something happens. They've been in court more times than Boris Becker, these kids.
Nobby often takes on aspiring boxers who've fallen foul of the law. To them, Nobby's gym is a refuge from the mean streets of Birmingham.
If it wasn't for boxing, a lot of these guys, they'd be on the streets, robbing this, you know, doing that, doing drugs. Like I said, they can come down here, keep fit, earn a bit of money, you know, just teach you a bit of self-discipline.
He's a good carpenter as well, this kid. He's a carpenter by trade. I said to him, do us a favour, put a door on the inside of the house. It was the biggest cat flap ever been invented. You should put hinges on the side, no on the top. I keep banging my head.
Last year, Nobby's stable lost 8 out of every 10 fights. Paul Wesley hasn't trained for weeks, but he's answered Nobby's call to take a fight on at 24 hours' notice for £2,000. Nobby's 5-man team is complete.
All right, Frank. Yeah, Wesley, I'll have that. OK. See you tomorrow night. You can't miss me, I'll be wearing a red carnation. See ya. Mission Impossible.
Nobby Nobbs is a 48-year-old bachelor from King's Standing in Birmingham. A former nightclub bouncer, he supplements his boxing income by loading and delivering vegetables 6 days a week.
Is that tight? He had double glazing fitted so the kids couldn't hear the ice cream van. You tell them about that, huh?
Definitely puts a smile on your face early in the morning.
Who stacked that, Stevie Wonder? He could stack that better than that, huh? Dear, oh dear. He's good to his mum, you don't go home, David, do you, Dave? You don't go home, do you?
But he turns up every morning on time, 4 o'clock. So I don't know, he does it sometimes.
Our wages here, peanuts. 2 chant and 1 glass, sir. Well, everybody leads 3 different lives, don't they? I mean, there's my work, there's my life at work, there's my personal life, and there's my boxing life. You know, you lead 3 different lives, and you turn off one and turn on to another, and then turn off onto another. Sometimes it gets hard. I mean, sometimes I get back about 2:30 in the morning, I go straight to work. I mean, that's hard, and then I have to go up to the gym again. Bills are regular, aren't they? So to pay your regular bills, you've got to have regular money coming in. I mean, sometimes with the boxing, I mean, June, July, August, September, there's hardly anything happening, so there's 4 months without no money coming in. You're matching your wits and your skills against the big boys down in London. Like Mickey Duff, Frank Warren, Barry Hearn, Frank Maloney. The only time they want my kids is to get their kids wins.
At 2 o'clock after finishing his morning deliveries, Nobby pops into the gym for one last check before the drive down to London.
All right?
It's now 6 in the evening. The doors at the Lewisham Theatre are open for business. In a star-studded show, not one of Nobby's team of losers has made the advance billing.
Programmes, tonight's 5 programmes.
Nobby's first fighter won't be on the televised bill for another 2 hours. Some of the others won't see action until near midnight. Before they're allowed to fight, every boxer has to pass a strict medical from a boxing board doctor.
You know the best way to win spot the ball, don't you? You know to do spot the ball. I won that once. You keep sticking a pin in, and when you're that's where the ball is.
Jimmy Vincent is one of Nobby's better boxers. Against all the odds, he's won his last 4 fights. Tonight is his biggest test. He's been thrown in against Gary Jacobs, one of the best boxers in the world at his weight.
Well, you got nothing to lose, Jim boy. Nothing to lose whatsoever. Just go and enjoy yourself.
Next door, promoter Frank Maloney prefers to hang out with the prospective champions.
Just give him a left hook here, just see if you see him now, just give him a left hook, see if it's working, right? Back to square one now. Where is he? Come on, kid.
Jimmy Vincent's shock first-round stoppage may have cost him a broken jaw. His next appointment will be at the casualty ward.
Of course I worry about the fighters, yes, when they fight. It's my job to look after them. When I'm in the corner, if I think it's going wrong, I'll just pull them out. Pull them out with a bad hand or anything, make any excuse of just to pull them out. And try and get them the right fight next time. Very rare I get a kid stopped twice on a trot. I've been around long enough not to do that. If they've had an hard fight or they've took a bit of stick, I'll make sure they get the right fight next time round.
You feel disappointed, disheartened, but what can you do? You're offered good money and a lot of the lads ain't working and you know, you feel sorry for them. In our gym, they bounce off the floor, they'll bounce off the second seats in the front row and jump back in there and they ain't finished.
Tension in the dressing room is high following Jimmy Vincent's defeat. Nobby has his own way of diffusing it.
I went to the doctor the other day, he said, you're going to live till you're 48. I said, I am. He said, I told you so. Should not be calling him John Travolta, I ain't got that much grease on him. You've got friends all over the world, Paul, eh? None here, but all over the world, ain't you? You're going to have a warm-up or stand by the radiator, what do you want to do? You want a proper warm-up?
Jimmy Vincent heads for hospital, where he'll be fitted with 2 metal plates to help heal his jaw. His stablemate await their fate.
There's thousands of kids like me, thousands who want to be boxers from amateur and that, there's thousands. And somewhere on the line, they get there and they're given the big chance to come down here and a draw, say they deserve a draw, and they lose it. But in their head, everybody knows, everybody will tell you that. You won that, but they give you a draw or they took it away from you. You go home and it disheartens you.
Right, then who's on next now?
He's taking part in his 53rd professional contest, and he's from Birmingham. Would you please welcome Paul Wesley?
Good shot, don't worry about that. Show it up north. Oh, good shot. He took this yesterday.
Nobby's man has survived the first round against a fearsome opponent, but neither boxer nor trainer are prepared to let it go much further.
Might give him another round, see how he goes. No, he's getting him hurt.
After one last rally, Paul Wesley slumps to the canvas. Nobby tells him to stay there.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Took it last night, so we weren't going to be too brave, right? He took it at short notice, like 24 hours notice. And he isn't probably as fit as he should be, and he definitely isn't as fit as the other guy. So what you got to do is use the game as it uses you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Johnson. This is the fighter that nobody wants to box. So let's give a big round of applause to Paul Wesley as he leaves the ring, ladies and gentlemen.
Paul Wesley has turned the cards on many occasions and beaten lots of up-and-coming young guys. But Nobby provides fighters that can give most of the young up-and-coming hopefuls a good workout without beating them.
if you look at the guys that he's been in with, and you know, he doesn't get hurt, and that's what you call a good fighter. They obviously learn their trade, but then they get into a mould. Well, if I fight Tuesday of this week, I'll get X amount of money. I can fight, say, Thursday or Wednesday of next week and get X amount of money, and they're earning more than some champions out there. And, you know, to me, that's good management.
Nobby's next fighter, Mark Ramsey, has had just 4 days' notice for his fight against Ghanaian champion Joshua Clottey. Nobby's pre-fight advice is typically fatalistic.
You can forget about stopping these guys. It's like an old teak sideboard, you know what I mean? Just keep pecking away, do your thing.
Ken Curtis, and this is 8 Raymond rounds. Here you go.
Nobby's team need regular fights to make a decent living. If they get knocked out, the boxing board won't let them fight for at least 28 days. To maintain a regular income, they need to lose with a minimum of damage.
No, we're professionals. We don't go as regards winning or losing. We don't really look at it in that aspect. We go down there to supply entertainment for the fans that have paid the money. And any promoter will tell you, all my kids give good value for money.
Winning may not be the top priority, but that doesn't stop Nobby offering some helpful, if dubious, advice.
When you're in close,
work inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Let one or two low. You know, hit him in the bollocks a couple of times. You know what I mean? Yeah. You'll only get a warning. Right. Slow him up a bit.
Mark Ramsey is making a good fight of it, but then he's caught on the ropes.
Split his eye up, kid. That's all that we need, isn't it? No, don't worry about this.
All right, no problem. They're slightly out of their league. They're in their league well enough to stay the distance and put up a credible show, but they're not quite good enough to win. And they try to win, but I think self-defense is uppermost in their mind. They try to win, but always with a conscience of not to get hurt, cover. And whilst you're covering, you're not scoring, you're getting hit. You may absorb most of the punches and they'll have less effect than if you weren't covered, but it also is a very good way of losing a fight.
Good shot, that's it. No. Slip, referee. Take your time, Mark. Mark, take your time, kid. There you go. Well done, Mark.
Your winner and still undefeated, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you're glad to show you appreciate it. Very game boxer from Birmingham, Mark Ramsey.
Most of mine are what they call in the trade cuties. I've got kids that can 3-minute rounds. Really, they only box for a minute and a half. The other minute and a half, they're just fannying about. You just have to go on the big shows, unless your kids don't fight. And like how much it costs now to get a licence. You got to put them out. You got to race them. It's like race horses. If you don't race them, you shoot them, don't you? And I don't want to shoot none of my fighters.
Great manager, great trainer. So he's looked after me for 6 years, and you know I do take my hat off to the man.
We all look up to Nobby as like a good trainer. He's like a father figure, really. You know, he's like a social worker. Well, any problems you've got, you can always come to Nobby and we'll sort you out.
We get a few bad decisions. I've stopped calling the referees names now. I just mime. I do. I pretend I'm deaf and dumb. I just mime to them now. I heard not so long ago that somebody top in the game, one of the top men in the game, says to me that I'm such a loser. That's me, Nobby. That if I was an undertaker, people would stop dying. I think, unbelievable some of the decisions I've had against us. But we just keep going because we know it's part of the game. As long as we get paid, we're not bothered.
This is all your money here, Nobby. You need this to take it home in the night, won't you?
What a fight. Take your time with the jab. Calm down, kid.
It's now nearly midnight, and another of Nobby's boxers, 18-year-old Benny Jones, is losing valiantly on points to a local fighter making his professional debut. It's a spirited performance, but inevitably the bell signals another defeat for Nobby's team. It's a familiar scenario.
I started in 1970, so it's 97 now, 27 years. I'll probably die in the corner. That'd be a nice way to go. Just my luck, I'd probably get a European champion. I'll snuff it, just as they put the belt round him. But I wouldn't mind going like that. There's a thin line, isn't it, between a character and an idiot. You know, they call me a great character, and I think to myself, why are they calling me a great idiot? And I know I'm not an idiot. Well done, lads. Well done. 2 best fights tonight, the last 2.
Yeah, sure. You've got to be able to fight when you come down here, you know, no matter what. I mean, everyone can say to us, we're losers, we travel here, we travel there. You know, we ain't. I mean, can they come down London and just fight at short notice like Paul and me, and fight good kids who are bang at it, 24/7, training? I mean, like me and Paul, we go out to have a laugh. You know, we don't take it serious. That's why we are the way we are. I mean, look at my face. Touch wood, it's still like it's going to come out at the end of the fight. But I mean, look at his face. You know, end of the day, I don't know, when I finish boxing, I still want to, I don't know, be able to pull a couple of birds, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And not look like a bag of spanners.
So 4 stitches in that kid, I'm afraid. Give it a couple of months rest.
Mark Ramsey's distress is less to do with losing the fight as losing his livelihood for 2 months.
Somebody has to lose all the time. I'd rather be in a loser's camp these days, because at least you're guaranteed a regular wage in your career lasts a certain period of time. It's true, isn't it? They're guaranteed a certain amount. They don't get hurt that much. They enjoy doing what they're doing. It's sort of like, it's a good way of doing amateur boxing, isn't it? You know, amateur boxing with money.
Hopefully I'm going to win, you know, which would be nice to win, you know. But if I don't win, I'll give it my best and, you know, see what happens.
Keep your hands warm anyway.
It'd be nice to come down here and win.
Brian Coleman is Nobby's busiest boxer. He's about to find out just how hard it is to win a decision when you're expected to lose.
Understand? Keep it simple for a couple of rounds. Bang, bang, and then away. As long as you don't hit the one with the dicky bow, and I ain't bothered, you know what I mean?
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
Don't knock him out, he's sold the future. Take your time, well done.
Turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down.
I bet he gives you the draw.
Stand my ground, and I won't.
39 points for each boxer. Therefore, we have a draw. Very, very good bout indeed. Saving the best till last, ladies and gentlemen. Well done to both boxers.
1 draw and 4 defeats seems scant reward for Nobby's team. But for them, it's a way of life.
I've had a British champion. I'd like to get a European champion. And I'll keep going until I get one. Might be not this year, might be not next year. And I might have a set of new Nashes in when I do, but I'll do it.
It's now 1:15 in the morning. There'll be no sleep for Nobby tonight. In 3 hours, he'll be back on the day job down the market.
And you got to keep going, that's the secret. Keep going, because if you don't play, you can't win. It's as simple as that. So you got to keep playing, never give up.